back to Note to Self. I'm your host, Leah Tindale, and joining me once more, because he can't get enough of the show, is Michael Ross. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Leah. Why have I returned? You've had some amazing guests after my appearance.
Yes, you're not wrong.
Where I think you've now learned a lot and gotten a lot of better notes than keep your face away from a toilet seat. That was what I brought, and yet you've brought me back. So I must have done something right.
Well, the thing is, from the get-go, I wanted you to come along and continue to sort of be a guru and to make sure I was learning and that the conversations I was having with these wonderful people wasn't in vain and I wasn't wasting their time.
Okay. So I'm like your revision tutor.
Yes, exactly. We're in school and you're here to see what I've learned so far, but also as an opportunity to, I suppose, reflect on some other things that pop up in that time, because obviously we've had 5 guests now on the podcast, including yourself as the OG. But there's been lots of things that have come up, and then you just always, you're always growing and changing, hopefully, and evolving as a person. Fingers crossed.
How long have you known me?
Okay, maybe you're not, but everyone else is. And so I just think it's nice to talk about. But I suppose I wanted to start with some of the really interesting notes that we've gathered from some of the people so far. There's been a kind of a common thread I've felt. I don't know if you've picked this up. Maybe you haven't watched or listened to any of them. That's fine, whatever. But about to lean into the process of change, whether that's because your dreams are changing, whether that's because you're needing to embrace a challenge, whether it's because you're going to become a new parent. Everyone sort of comes away with this caveat of like, if you don't lean into that process of life, it'll really ruin you essentially. And I don't know, I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Do you feel like you've had experience with the leaning in of the changes of life?
Yeah, because I am a dad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably like the clearest explanation of like having to go with change. It's not always easy. Sometimes there's more than a lean in.
Yeah. Okay. What, someone's pushed you?
Sometimes you need someone to sort of help give you a push. Sometimes you have to like jump into it because you spend forever just kind of leaning and you're not going fully into it. I think another good example is long relationships. So I've been with my wife. This year will be 14 years.
Yeah, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. And we met and we started dating in high school. And a school student is a completely different person than we were in uni. And then we were, starting our first jobs, and then we were living interstate, and like in every step of the way, both people are changing kind of thing. And I don't know who said it, but there was a quote that was like, you have to love the person that they become.
Yes. Yeah.
And the person that they're always changing into. It's not the person that you started dating 14 years ago. And so change is good. Change is inevitable.
It's interesting as well what you mentioned about the evolution of the person and the self within a partnership. Because this has come up a couple of times in chats, one most recently with Abby Odat, who I spoke to a week ago. And she was talking about, obviously, with their partnership, he's from the Middle East, she's, Kiwi background. So chalk and cheese situations there, so I think you're automatically forced into letting someone change and evolve as you go on, because you never understood them in the first place, but you never had a mold in which to place them. But like, I think in my case anyway, I was like, this is what a relationship should look like. So when I was dating, early in my 20s, when someone then moved out of that mold, I was like, well, no, you need to go back.
Get back in there.
Get back in.
I don't know what you're doing now. This isn't a relationship.
I don't want this. Move on. But that has been something I think that it's more talked about now. But I never knew that as a concept, or that I could do that for myself. I didn't know that I could change. That sounds so stupid as I say it out loud.
No, because like we touched on a second ago, where it's like it's the unknowns. So you are kind of like, well, how do I know I can change if I don't know what that change looks like?
Yeah, and no one's demonstrated that to me before. Yeah. Like, I remember the first time I met like an incredible businesswoman who was very academic, who was really like just gung ho. That had never been presented to me because I come from a whole world of very wonderful, but more, I suppose, traditional female roles like being a teacher, a nurse, a mother, sort of thing. And then you meet someone who's this amazing businesswoman. I was like, oh, that's an option. And I'm like, this is the 21st century, and I'm having these things. It's like,
but it's a big conversation, particularly in say women's sport as well. The slogan is you can't be what you can't see.
Yeah.
So young aspiring say girls who want to play footy now have only in the last decade seen women at top flight sort of AFL football. And suddenly a girl has probably gone, oh, hang on,
I could do that.
I can do that.
Yeah.
And that's in so many facets of your life. But yeah, I guess it can be confronting when you see something, when you get that unknown, when it is different, and you can decide that it's not for you. You can go, no, actually, I don't want to change.
Yeah, get back in the mold.
Where they're going.
Yeah.
It's not about being necessarily in the mold, but like you go, this works for me, and here are the reasons why. But at least I know the other.
Yes.
Yeah, it's better to not live in ignorance.
And have no
better
idea.
to see it. Yeah.
How have you put that into practice in your relationship then with your wife? Because obviously, if you've been together 14 years, you have been allowing, I hope, each other to evolve into the next iteration of yourselves. Is there things that you're consciously aware that you do for that space to be created?
I think we support each other very well in terms of like career aspirations. I guess that's been a big changing factor for us because we had, moving because of my job kind of thing. And for a long time, it's like it was that there was a focal point on that.
Yeah.
And so I make the decision to be fully supportive of whatever Abby wants to do. She's gone from, she was an aspiring like musical theatre kind of actor. She was auditioning for Whopper and really trying to break in there. And then she was running her own filmography company. And then she moved into artworks like bespoke, like custom order art. And now she's a face painter.
So great.
At kids' parties. And it's just all these things that she's really passionate about. And while to me, my career has been quite, I guess, linear, I've stayed in broadcasting since leaving uni. And I've just tried to sort of climb. She's jumped around in these creative industries and wanted to work for herself and that sort of thing. And those changes of like, being unknown, like what's that going to look like? How much money would that bring in? And just sort of choosing actually to just park that.
Yeah.
And go, that doesn't matter. What are you really passionate about right now? What's gonna get you up and about and ready to work kind of thing? Because I don't want her doing things that she doesn't enjoy just because she feels like maybe she has to for the household kind of thing. So it's like, that I guess like that's what I do to allow for that change. Going like, if I'm not changing right now, so if I'm in my job and that sort of aspiration is just sort of chugging along.
Yeah.
And sort of, I can crunch that numbers, make sure that that's like the bedrock to allow for her to launch to wherever she wants to go kind of thing.
Yeah. That's great.
And so I think I guess that's an example.
Do you think she is consciously doing that to you as well? Is it like a thing that you've actually talked about? Or do you think it's the disposition of who you are as people and your personality traits and the examples you've had in your parents has enabled you to do that naturally without having the conversation?
I think she was from a family, I think, where they did try lots of different things. So I think that's why she's kind of fearless in doing it. Her mum in particular has had a wide and varied career and like returning to university, in her 40s and like changing career entirely. So I think, yeah, she's quite fearless in that way, and I guess never saw any question marks over me moving into a creative industry.
Sure. Yeah.
Whereas my family were, my parents are real, just like 9 to 5 workers. It's not about the work.
Mm.
You do the work so you can then go and spend time with your family and live. So it kind of hasn't mattered what they've done. It's in their sort of career aspiration thoughts. So I guess, yeah, Abby's bringing that in, and I guess because I've got that rock of like my parents just got to
Get
work.
it done.
So I'm fortunate in that, kind of an in between, in that I am on my dream path, but there are times where I can just bed in, get to work, kind of thing. So so I think we both brought that in. I guess we haven't talked about it a heap. She was a huge support, particularly at the beginning of me in radio. Abby she was our videographer and things like that. And we could often never pay her, but that was her way of supporting me and I guess showing her love, as well as her belief in me that eventually she wouldn't have to do that for us. Because we were a late night fledgling show with no resources kind of thing. And so I think maybe she thought, you'll get there and then I won't be doing this. I'll go and somebody do it properly. So yeah, I guess we haven't talked about it a lot. I think we're both very much just doers.
Yeah, okay.
The way we communicate is like, if we want to show the other one that we love them and we support them, then we'll do something for them to help them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's very practical. I feel like I'm so the opposite. I'd talk to them blue in the face and then maybe I'll jump in. But also I've been burnt from a relationship before. So I feel like I'm over looking at all the things to make sure I've got all my ducks in a row. Do you want to move on to some other notes, other takeaways and things at the moment? Because I feel like, relationships, parenting, you just really stay there for a really long time.
Yeah, I have to stay here for 18 years.
Yeah. Well, you're locked and loaded now. But I suppose other things that are going on that I wanted to unpack with you, get your wisdom of, because the last little while I've had a huge increase of anxiety. It's been super, super fun. And as a result,
well, if you can't laugh, you'll cry.
Exactly. And I do cry often and hard. But no, I feel like in this space of anxiety, I'm always trying to figure out why. Why does it come back? Why does it get on top of me? What am I doing that is contributing? And for many people, it can be a chemical imbalance, it can be lifestyle, it can be trauma related, all of those things. And I feel like I've dealt with a lot of those caveats previously, and there's no reason, but somehow, Michael, I keep ending up in such frantic tizzes, if you will. That's what I was going for. Tinges, yeah, just tinging all over the place.
Context, that's your nickname.
Yeah, true. That's really good. Yeah, Tindale.
But I think it fits nicely.
It fits. Yeah, great.
Having a bit of an anxious tinge right now.
Yeah, maybe I'll use that. I'll put that in my brain.
Because it's just colouring you for the moment. Just that shade there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it has brought to life some very interesting points. And I wanted to have this conversation with you because I don't think you suffer with anxiety, or you really know, about it, because I see people in your world, including me, to tell you daily. But I do find it really interesting, and my partner's the same. Like, he doesn't have anxiety at all. It's not, and I can't imagine my existence without. What's it like?
Is that your question? What's it like?
Yeah, just to start.
You
feel calm?
Yeah, generally. But I think the thing is that I think everyone can experience that spectrum of emotions, but I and your partner don't have it reoccurring.
No. You can be anxious for a situation, but you don't have it living in your veins.
No. And I don't know, I guess, how to unpack
it's okay.
That. I don't want to make any statements that, could could upset people that genuinely go through it. All I can say is sort of, how I feel and how I go from point A to point B and kind of my process of being anxious. Because I know that it's like, I know they're different, but I'd be interested to talk to your partner. Does he equate anxiousness similar to nervousness and that sort of thing?
Right. Okay.
And there's an idea that, at least in our work, that, maybe you're about to present something. I get very nervous if I ever have to do this in front of people.
Yes, me too.
Um,
but I can handle that because it's going to be over.
Yeah, it's coming to an end.
Yeah.
You know exactly why you're feeling that way.
I just remembered something actually, Michael. I don't know if you have this, but I would like to ask you a question
Sure.
to find out if I'm not alone. When I get before I do speaking or whatever, or someone's about to ask me the question, it's like I can feel my neck shaking. But then if you look on a camera, I'm not shaking at all. But it's like my spine's gone. Does that happen to you? Do you have any weird things that you feel like everyone can see that I'm nervous, but you look fine, but somehow it's like you're rattling inside?
Yeah, my knee. Yeah,
wow,
specifically
okay.
left knee.
Wow.
I feel just like shakes like mad if I have to talk in front of people. And I think I've seen footage. It's like you can't see it.
No.
But to me, I'm like, that's just rattling away. My kneecap's gonna fall off.
That's wild. I have the
so
same, but it's my neck. So then I feel like a bobblehead doing
I guess your body's trying to put the energy somewhere.
Yes, yeah.
And so it creates a phantom experience to try and explain. And so, do you feel like that in your moments of genuine anxiety? Do you get
No.
but do you get like a physical
I get a physical
response?
thing,
Yeah.
but it's like the neck shaking thing, it's like cause and response, right? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm nervous, or someone's about to ask me to speak and I'm embarrassed, or whatever it is, neck shaking. Okay, focus, everyone is fine, everyone can see you. But if I'm having an anxious day or week or whatever, it's like it's almost in your bones. For me anyway, a lot of people are different. There is maybe rumination of thoughts that head them down a pathway. A lot of the time, my body is anxious before my mind has the thoughts. And I don't know why that is. But that to me is almost, I'd rather have a thought because then I can stop the thought.
Yes.
But there probably is obviously in the subconscious some sort of sense of unknown or whatever. And most recently around work stuff, I think it's been coming up more and more that there'll be a sense of rejection that's coming or looming, just looming in this state. And so I don't know if that amplifies it, or when I've got to send an email, or not just like a normal email, but like a scary email, then it maybe is like that's coming up tomorrow. So then my body is just like,
yeah, you're in that constant fight, flight, freeze, appease.
yes, please.
Yeah,
I don't know that one.
that was one that someone recently added to it.
Ah,
because you either you get confronted by the scary thing, and so you're like, I'm going to fight it, or you're going to run from it, or you're just going to lock up, or you can
placate it.
Yeah, you can shut down the scary thing.
That's me.
By appeasing.
Maybe.
So yeah.
Well, I'm not appeasing. I'm people pleasing. Is that different?
It would be the same thing. Like making the scary thing unthreatening to you,
right?
By giving them what they want.
Yeah. Okay.
Redirecting them or things like that. And you can't do that with that email.
Yeah, right.
You have to wait.
Yes.
And that's the thing. You want to appease them.
Yes.
You would give anything for that feeling to go away. But you have to wait.
So what's your process then? Let's break this down super, super simple. Yes. All right. Are you going to send an email to someone, either maybe requesting a confrontation or that you want to bring something up? Or what does your brain do for you? Do you just go, oh yeah, I'll write that email and send it? No stress.
No, I will think about it. I think I'm very deliberate in communication when it comes to something serious. What I will say, I guess, is that the first step I do is assessing, is it worth it?
Sure, okay.
So quite a lot of things I might not have to confront because I go through a process of going, why do I want
Yeah,
Why do I
okay.
want to do this? What is the outcome going to get me? Yeah, is this really worth it? Is this just going to create an anxiety that's really unnecessary? Is it outside of my controllables? Am I about to ask them something that is outside of my scope?
Mm.
And so I think I think about that quite a bit. Maybe that's a sport
Okay.
kind of related system because I played sport as a junior, and you really get taught like what can you be doing right now, and don't worry about what they are doing because you don't have the ball. They've got the ball.
Yes. Yeah.
You just so if it's footy, it's like you just get to the right place, you present, and if they don't pass you the ball, well then they don't pass you the ball,
Mm.
kind of thing. That is not in your control. You just do everything to prepare yourself,
Mm.
and
It's just some good tips.
like does that feel too easy, or like are you like how can you just say that like
I mean, I think I'm getting better at this, like, and that surprises me, as a 30 whatever I am lady, that I should be able to be like, yeah, is this important? Because oftentimes everything feels very important. But also then my flip side is that, what's the word? Disproving, discrediting,
yes, one of
one
these?
of these
Go at the next word and then we'll figure out what
yeah,
you mean.
yeah, good.
Yeah.
Like removing myself from credibility of doing the thing that I'm doing. So say I wanted to bring something up to have a confrontation.
Mhm.
I will then say, do I really need to do this based on, oh no, I don't really have a right to ask. Like, who am I to talk about it? Who am I? Like, so it's
Right, yeah, so yeah, you are discrediting
discredit,
yourself.
yeah. Even so then that talking out, even though it's like, okay, well, is this worthwhile? Or what's the reason why I'm maybe wanting to write this email or have this meeting in the first place, then flips to a place that's negative.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we both maybe are starting at the same point of going, let's think about this for a second.
Yeah.
And I will go off into the line of going, no, well, like this isn't going to get the desired outcome.
Yeah.
Whereas you go, probably gets the desired outcome, but I can't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
It shouldn't be me.
Shouldn't be me. I'm not
I don't
worthy.
deserve that outcome anyway. Back I
Exactly.
go.
Just like fall over. Sorry for being an inconvenience. And then sometimes, if it's really bad, I'll be feeling like I'm an inconvenience over the email that they never got. So then I'll forget that they don't know that I was going to send them an email, and I'm like, just get like super awkward and weird. But like one thing that I have started doing, and I can only say have started doing because I've done it maybe like 3 times. But each time I was very proud of myself. And this is my note to self for this current week that I'm in.
Yes.
Leading in.
Write it down.
Yeah. Is to remove the caveat that you
Yes.
place in on your request. So this, you're like, this is common sense. But yes, Michael, I'm slow on the uptake.
Let's have an example.
Yeah. So for an example, I wanted to have someone in a meeting with me recently.
Yes.
As a support person. And normally I went to start writing, hi, can I please have this person with me in the meeting?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. And then I said, because blah, 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 blah. So then I was like, I stopped. And I was like, no. And then I have an incredible boss that is in my ear now as my little like mental guru to be
Jiminy
like,
Cricket.
yeah, Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah.
Being like, no, you can do it. Like you don't need to validate your existence every time you ask for something. And so I just said, I'd like this person in with me, please. I don't even think I said please. Anyway, and I sent it and I was very scared, but then I actually felt more empowered afterwards. They didn't end up getting into the meeting because they don't check that particular software that we use at work. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
So then how did you feel in that moment when they didn't show?
It was okay because I had developed a plan about how I was going to deal with my anxiety. I wrote out a list of the things that I wanted to ask for, what I needed. So I was prepared anyway. So I had mitigated my anxiety that then afterwards I even felt like, oh, maybe I didn't need my support person in there. So there's a lot of notes to self in there. Back myself.
Yeah.
Don't put caveats on direct questions. Like you can ask for stuff.
Yes.
Did you know this?
You can. Yeah, absolutely.
And like people will say no, but that's okay.
I think, yes, that's absolutely okay. I think people mistake politeness with sort of that situation as well, like where there's a line. You don't need to validate your existence and put caveats, and you don't have to say, may I please have this person here? But likewise, there are some people in the business setting who go too hard the other way.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, we can still be polite about this, but it's also business. So you can get what you want and you can ask for things. And some people, I think, just lose all form of civility.
Yeah.
But then you're definitely in the camp of like kind of too apologetic for just doing your job, the thing that the business wants you to do and wants you to do well. So you need to be able to communicate what you need to do that job well.
I'm getting better at this. I'm growing my business muscles. That's how I like to think about it. Have I ever told you about the sliding scale of Leah's personality?
No, we haven't. Get out the scale now.
Okay.
Can you do a nice graphic for us in the video?
Yeah. I'm not that savvy on the video. But basically, on one end of the scale is myself as a hippie, barefooted, free soul.
Okay.
That's sort of similar to right now. On the other side is
pantsuit.
Correct. And I have over the years fluctuated between the both. I tend to probably lean more into the hippie barefoot, but I'm trying to. I know this power suit lady. It's a white power suit too, because she knows she'll never get dirty. It's a safe bet, and so I'm slowly leaning more into that, and it feels like a very true part of who I am. But for whatever reason, call it trauma, call it being a woman, I don't know. It's not something that I've kind of leaned into. But I'm getting there. When I wear white to work as a business suit, you'll know I've made it.
It's like going Super Saiyan, but she's gone power suit. It's really interesting that that you, I guess, are aspiring to that in some way. That like whether that's internal or whether it's literally the power suit. Yeah. But I wonder if that's an interesting insight into like men and women in the workplace, because I find in 21st century there are a few jobs that someone should be wearing like a full suit to. Like to me, you come off as stuffy and detached and things like that.
Yeah, true.
Whereas like, let me know, as a woman, do you feel that for you, no, that's respect, that's
if I wore that,
and like seeing other women, successful women do look like that. Whereas a guy, I kind of go, that actually doesn't say successful man. Any man can buy a suit.
Okay.
Like I need more. I need the character beneath the suit kind of thing. But to you, is it like,
I mean,
it's drawing.
When you see, when you see a powerful, incredible woman in a power suit, and they're just so in their element, I think that's amazing. Yeah. And it's very polished, right?
Yeah. You feel like $1 million. Is that kind of the idea that you're comfortable in your skin as you in your work skin?
Yes. Yeah. And if you're at the level where you can afford a really well-tailored, good quality suit, it is because you are that inside. I think that's what my link is. That's not a true and accurate link, but
there's a bit of that of like, it's a reminder to yourself about how hard you've had to work to get there.
Yeah.
Because you will look in a mirror at some point.
You just look so clean.
And you're like, great.
Yeah.
Whereas, but it's interesting. Yeah, on my side of the fence, I'm kind of like, I don't want to wear a suit.
Yeah, and I do actually think men who are just well-dressed but not in suits has that similar vibe. And women too. I don't know what I'm saying. But the point is that my reference is this sliding scale.
Yeah.
And maybe one day.
Power suit Leah. I'm just saying power suit Leah can live within.
Yes, it's true.
Barefooted Leah.
Okay, yes. And she does.
You know.
And she will continue to thrive. We're almost out of time, Michael. We've gone on a real...
Have we got any more notes? Is there anything you'd like to touch on?
Well, I mean, I think one of the big things that I've been musing over for a while is about why there are elements of my life, and I don't know if this happens to you. You don't seem like this kind of guy, so I'm going to presume no, and you can correct me.
Sure,
Yes.
Go on. What are you're about to give me a backhanded compliment. I can feel it.
Yes. But I feel like I seem to always divert to a life of fear.
Right. So and this feeds back into
anxiety,
and always being in that heightened sense.
And I don't know why, because even though I've lived through, a lot of not nice things, life still is pretty bloody great. And I'm very grateful for every breath that I've got. And I have no reason to be as anxious and fearful as I am, but yet I am. Do you dabble in this?
Well, I think I understand at least some of the concept of that. In that, that heightened sense is not in your control necessarily. Part of the sympathetic nervous system.
Yeah, sure.
And so your mind, Leah, the mental being, knows that you shouldn't feel that way. But Leah, the physical being, doesn't know that she's not meant to feel that way. We think that's why, by the way, I have scars on my head. So, because...
Yes. You have to get really close to the camera so that people who watch on video can see. Get a close up. And if you're only listening via audio, swap to the video.
These two bad boys delivered by my glasses because I have had some episodes where I've passed out. And that is, again, what the doctors think it is so the step below the sympathetic nervous system is the parasympathetic nervous system. And so we've been trying to figure out, why am I passing out? They're going to have a phobia of needles and things like that, because that's very common. Someone goes, the needle, I'm going to experience pain. They then get this elevated sort of panic in a way, then the blood pressure drops, and then you pass out. But I don't have that. I don't have the mental side of what's going on.
Right.
But they think that my body doesn't know that. My body is not happy with what's been going on in terms of I was getting the stitches removed and passed out. And it was painful, but I've stubbed my toe worse than the stitches coming out. But my body didn't know that, and I passed out anyway. So there's this... And so there's that battle, I guess, of we are a sum of our parts. And although you've done obviously a lot of work to unpack your life and the triggers that make you feel that way, just the physical being that is there might just be taking a little bit longer to catch up, and to feel, I guess, less heightened and I guess have enough time to build the good behaviors. So your body ramps up. Oh no, it's going to happen again, but then it doesn't, and maybe over time your body goes, it's not going to. So I don't know if that's just absolute nonsense. That's my understanding of it. That it'll just take a bit of time and positive reinforcement to the other part of you.
Yeah.
And being, I guess, nice and kind to the other part of you.
Corne's on this. That's my partner. Just as that I need to be kinder to myself.
Yes, be kind.
That's just a great note to self, that it's just so bloody hard.
Yeah. But that's the thing, you know that everything's good.
Yeah.
So take comfort in that, and I guess ride the wave.
You're like the new Pope giving me this kind of advice.
The new Pope.
Is that rude to say?
No, it's fine. Why am I like the new Pope for saying that?
Because you're giving me advice. I don't know. And
he normally talks about religion.
I don't know, but the Pope...
What, gives sage advice?
Yeah, I just feel like I'm in a confessional and you...
Okay, you haven't confessed anything.
No, this is true.
Is that why you're anxious? Have you done something?
No. But I think to finish, we've had some lovely things that have come up. But is there anything that then for you is front of mind at the moment? Are you swirling around with any notes to self that you're trying to work on? Obviously, you mentioned the fainting and passing out and trying to work on why. Is that kicking off things of for you, or not really? You're just living the dream.
Well, I think I've been trying to stay in what we talked about a bit earlier about like who has the ball.
Yeah, great.
You know, am I in control of these episodes? Partially, in that like I can do some things to help hopefully mitigate it in a health sense. One that's very simple as staying hydrated.
Would you believe it?
Yes. Increasing my blood volume so that if my blood pressure drops, it doesn't all leave my head. Yeah, that's what happens.
Great.
But then it's now in the hands of my doctors.
Yeah.
You know, you have people around you that you trust. So in a health sense, you get a team together that you're like, you're the experts. I'm going to trust you. What will I get out of worrying?
Yeah,
you know, to the nth degree. Of course, I do have worries about this, and there are fears. Like I need to see a cardiologist. But until that moment comes, I don't want to. And when you see specialists, it takes forever.
Oh man!
So I can't spend that whole. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Like that would be so like maddening to me. Like, so I just have to let it go. I just have to go. I don't have the ball. Time to just find my spot on the field and be ready to take
go stretch.
Yeah. Warm up, get ready, put me on soon, coach.
Yeah. Exactly.
And there's just other things that need to get done. And not in a dismissive way. Because I think that's important as well. It's like I don't mean it in a denial way. I don't think I live in denial. I just choose to prioritize the better things, the things that bring the joy.
I imagine as a parent as well, then you automatically have like a small life that is depending on you. So you kind of override your own like, well, I can't worry about that right now because this little child needs me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of really important.
Like we just had our first like house-wide sickness.
Yeah.
Everybody had gastro and that kind of thing. And my wife in particular, and I think all mums are the best at it, of just
getting on,
of just keeping it rolling. And I think because maybe that, even if it's a subconscious thing of just knowing that like this will pass, that the illness will pass. So we just keep going in the moments that we can. I don't know if I have offered you anything this week, Leah.
No, I think you really have. I think there's some practical advice in there, some good reminders well for me because I'm just working through them and you just had to listen to them. So,
but I think as well that you're a much more well-rounded and fleshed out and developed human being than me. That you've lived a very rich and full life. And I think that this is what notes to self is, like that we'll get to see more about you and how you're trying to understand all the years that you've lived, you know, and people bringing you, I guess, their 2 cents, their notes, to help you unpack it. But I think at times it's like you forget that you're like, you've done so many things. You're like a great person.
That's really nice.
I'll just put that out. You're a wonderful person who has done many great things. And it's like at times you forget that. And I thank you for the notes.
This is really sweet. Thanks, Michael. Maybe you can come back because I'm obviously working towards 15 episodes for this season. You're episode 6. So if you came back maybe for episode 10 or 11, maybe even 15, depends.
Right at
the end, you can interview me.
Right.
If you reckon. I don't know how many tales that are up there.
We'll flip it on its head.
Yeah.
And we need Leah's notes.
Yeah. I'll have to start mining. But anyway, Michael Ross, always a delight and a pleasure. You're now patting my dog and he's licking your hand. There he is. Oh, bless. That's beautiful. Anyway, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Leah.